Thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasairos. I talk about politics, sports, and entertainment to keep you well-rounded. What's going on around the world? If you don't like hearing the truth, definitely don't tune into this channel. So let's get started today. So once again, Adam Sosnick, he's gaslighting anybody. He's insulting everyone who brings up the Epstein files. And he's only doing this because there's only one thing that Adam cares about, and that's Israel. He does not care about America. He does not care about our citizens here. And Adam, he knows that Vinny is America first. He knows that Vinny doesn't lie. So the entire show, all Adam does is make it personal, and he insults Vinny, little man, and you're emotional, and here's a box of tissues. Well, I got news for you, Adam. While you were at your bar mitzvah and mommy and daddy handed you your BMW and some stocks and bonds, Vinny was in the military fighting for the country, putting it on the line, making America first. Unlike you, a little weasel who pretends like you're America's greatest ally, but we all know that that's just an act and a charade. So let's jump into the video and I'll go from there.
It'll tell you when it's going to be delivered. All right, let's get right into it. Let's start off with Turning Point USA, okay? I think it's fair to say a lot of attention has gone to Turning Point USA, which, by the way, for the people that are putting it together, that's a good thing. You want a little bit of controversy. You want a little bit of challenges. It helps the brand because everyone's watching. Now, it is a very weird setting that's taking place with the challenges. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
When the first speakers came out, Ben Shapiro, boom, puts everybody on blast, calls out Tucker, calls out Megan, calls out Candace, opening, 20-minute speech.
Oh, yeah. Ben Shapiro and Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu, if you have a podcast, they have to approve your guest now. If they approve, you get to interview him, talk to him. If they don't approve, you're an anti-Semite. But hey, let's not talk about that. Let's not put it in those terms because that's exactly what it is. And that's exactly what Ben Shapiro is saying, but we're not allowed to say that.
It's off the stage. Tucker comes back. We address this. He comes back and says, did something happen earlier? Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. I wasn't paying attention anyways. No, I'm lying. I did. I watched it. So he gave a speech and he called everybody up and then he said, why are we so scared about Muslims? And then all these things, people are like, wait a minute, why are you bringing Muslims into this at a Christian event? And then afterwards, Humberto, if you're with me, in sequencing, is it fair to go to Megyn Kelly next when she was asked about what do you call it?
Barry
Ben
Weiss.
Shapiro's comments, not the Barry Weiss. Let's go to Megyn Kelly with Ben Shapiro first. Megyn Kelly's being asked about Ben Shapiro, and she reacts and she's like, we used to be friends. Humberto, if you don't have it, just go on Twitter and find it. You do have it? Okay. I think, is that the one? Press it to see if that's the one.
There was also some response where it seemed like that call was being co-signed by the new head of CBS News, Barry Weiss. And I wanted to know if you wanted to respond to that as well.
No, this is the second one, Humberto. What I want to show is Megyn Kelly comment. I don't know if did you guys see what she said about Ben Shapiro?
Yes.
Yeah, she made a comment about Ben Shapiro. If you just go on X, you'll be able to find it. I'll send it to you here.
That's the one she said, we used to be friends, but I put him on. I helped him start his career, but this was an inappropriate attack.
I think it's very important for the audience to see it. I think it's very important for it's right there, Rob. Right there, Humberto. Okay, make that one bigger. Go ahead.
Your name came up on this stage last night in regards to pretty much all of this. Would you like the opportunity to respond?
Well, I found it kind of funny that Ben thinks he has the power to decide who gets excommunicated from the conservative movement, which shows a willful blindness about his position in it. It reminded me a little of when the girl who was the head of our middle school chorus told me she was going to take all my friends away from me. Chorus? A head cheerleader, maybe, but so I resent the whole thing. I object to the whole thing. Ben and I, he had the nerve to call me a friend. Right?
Megan, seriously, when's the last time you eat? You need to have 3 double cheeseburgers for the next 7 days in a row for the next 19 weeks. You need to eat.
Before he called me a despicable coward for not calling out the people he once called out. So he both wants to parent me and be my child. He wants to tell me what I have to do and who I have to say what to. And then when I don't, he and some of his friends want to act like utter victims because I won't do what they say. They need me. I have to be their daddy and step in.
No, call it what it is. They call you an anti-Semite when you don't do what they say. That's anybody who doesn't do what Ben Shapiro wants, or Adam Sosnick, or Benjamin Netanyahu, or Israel. Automatically, you're an anti-Semite if you don't do exactly what they say. So say it the right way, because that's what they're indicating.
And to protect them. And I am not their daddy. And I resent that he thinks he's in a position to decide who must say what to whom and when. Thank you. So I don't think we are friends anymore. I've been a very good friend to Ben. Nobody knew who the heck Ben Shapiro was when I started putting him on my shows on the Fox News channel. And I helped make him a star. And I've been very, very good to Ben over the years. And he's been good to me, too. He just recently came on my tour, as did you. And I gave him the most kind introduction I could possibly give him, because I know that he's losing subscribers a lot. And so I tried to do something nice for him by giving him a long 10-minute intro and personally vouching for him. And we mixed it up on Israel.
See, this is the problem I have with Megyn Kelly. This is why she loses all credibility with me. And this is why I've been saying this recently also. How can you say you want to give credibility to Ben Shapiro? And obviously he's Israel first and not America first. See, it's getting to the point right now. It's either you're America first, you're with us, or you're with them. You can't have it both ways. Megyn Kelly can't be a pillar of the Republican Party and want you to believe that Ben Shapiro actually puts America first. Let's be serious, Megyn. You want to lose your credibility too, along with Patrick Bet-David? No problem. We'll all take it there. No big deal. No big deal.
Out on stage. It wasn't Israel because we're on the same place on Israel. We mixed it up over whether Tucker Carlson should be excommunicated from the conservative movement, which I do not believe.
Her and Ben are on the same place with Israel. So what's that? Israel first, Megyn? Oh, don't worry. Rome toppled, and so could your podcast, Megyn. Don't worry.
And thank you. And when it was over, we hugged, said goodbye, and then we had a nice text exchange a couple of days later saying our friendship was important to us. And the next thing I saw was him attacking me on stage last night as a coward.
Impossible.
So that's not friendship.
Adam, your thoughts?
So Ben's not doing any favors by making an enemy of Megyn Kelly. I think Megyn Kelly is a very, very necessary voice, and it doesn't make any sense to make her an enemy. Other than that, I agree with everything he said and did. So, James Lindsay, I think we've had him on the podcast, maybe not, James Lindsay. This is what he had to say about what it means to start a splinter cell. So Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes were not friends. Is that fair to say?
No.
Okay. If anything, Charlie Kirk.
And why was that? Why were Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes not friends? Because Charlie Kirk was bought and paid for by Israel. That's why. Because Israel was controlling Charlie Kirk. And we all know that. So if Israel's controlling you as a podcaster, as an influencer, as a turning point to register people to vote, that means you're going to put Israel before America. But hey, let's conveniently leave out that fact, right, Adam? Let's leave that out. Maybe you're hungover from trying to pick up 16-year-old girls over the weekend, like your idol Andrew Tate. But hey.
Vehemently opposed everything that Nick Fuentes says and does and is. I've spent time with Nick. We spent time with Nick. People ask me all the time, condemn Nick, he's the worst. I go, he's a young kid. He has time to grow. Tucker Carlson, on the other hand.
He has time to grow. What's that? Grow into supporting Israel? I guess you haven't been paying attention to Nick's story because he was canceled for the last 10 years. I don't think he's going to change anything. Maybe you don't like the rage bait. That's whatever. But I want to know one thing from all of you. When it comes to policy, not rage bait, when it comes to policy, American policy and Israeli policy, what is Nick lying about? None of you ever say he's lying about the policy. Because everything that Nick says about the policy is absolutely right. But hey, let's not talk about the policy. Let's stick to the rage bait.
And he's not doing anybody any favors by saying, I buy houses in Qatar. Why? Because I'm an American. What kind of bullshit are you spewing? Candace made the, in my opinion, absolute stupid sin of attacking a grieving widow. And what Erika Kirk has done.
I got to stop it. So he's pushing the grieving widow narrative like Erika Kirk, like all her supporters. Nobody's supposed to ask questions about Charlie Kirk's assassination because it makes Israel look bad. their involvement in it. So you're not supposed to ask, and then they're gonna push it down your throat. If you keep asking questions, you're attacking the grieving widow as she's going around on a book tour, as she stands on her husband's casket and rubs her hands through JD Vance's hair. She looks like the happiest grieving widow I've ever seen in my entire life. But hey, for $49.99, make sure that you buy the book after I wipe away my fake tears.
When she said, I'm busy building, if anything, if you're ever like, what should your default position be? It should be there for the grieving widow and mother of 2 kids without a father.
Isn't this the same guy that calls all women bitches and hoes and this and that? He's the same guy that on a weekly basis calls women all types of names every chance he gets. He's been scolded multiple times by Patrick Bet-David, but now he cares about the grieving widow. No, Adam, you only care about Israel, Adam.
And Charlie Kirk's legacy. That's like a default position for me. So Candace attacks that. Erika has been nothing but classy, and basically said, I'm working.
Erika's been nothing but classy. As no tears fall out of her face, buy my book for $49.99. Oh, I'm going to stand on my husband's casket and rub my hands through J.D. Vance's hair in my skin leather pants. Yeah, real classy, real elegant. The grievance is just, oh my God, she's grieving immensely.
I'm building. Do you think that Charlie Kirk wants Turning Point Amfest, which they did this weekend, to carry on or to die off? Clearly to carry on. So when she's going out there saying, I don't have time for the BS, I'm working, I'm building, this is what she's building. So Ben, I think for the most part, was absolutely right about talking about the splinter cells that are being built within Turning Point.
There's only one splinter cell that's going on, and President Trump is to blame for all of it because President Trump puts Israel first. He was happy the other day. I'm the first Jewish president during I'm the first Jewish president. You know why they're all clapping for President Trump? 4 more years, 4 more years. Because he does everything that Israel says. That's why. That's why they want him to run again. And I voted for Trump 3 times. So don't tell me that I woke up and just decided to hate Trump for no reason. But hey, Trump is the reason why the party is splintering. You can only look at it one way. It's either America first, and that's it. But it's not that simple with Trump because it's Israel first and then America second. And that's why the party's splintering. It's not splintering because of Candace Owens. It's not splintering because of Tucker Carlson. It's not splintering because of Nick Fuentes. It's splintering because President Trump is putting Israel first and not keeping his promises to his voting base. That's why it's splintering.
And Megyn Kelly, is my opinion, is not part of that. Tucker is. Nick Fuentes is trying to be, but he's a destroyer, not a builder. Talented at that.
I got to stop it again. I got to keep Nick Fuentes is a destroyer, not a builder. So his army of 4 to 5 million strong, that's not building. His army that can influence elections in the Senate, the House, and the presidential race, that's not building. You seem to underestimate him for some reason. A person that's been canceled since he came out of his mother's womb, who keeps rebounding and rebounding and rebounding and making his army bigger and bigger and more influential than ever, Adam. But you and Megyn Kelly, and obviously your boss here, you just don't seem to get it, do you? Your career will be over before Nick's. I can guarantee you that. And I don't mean like something bad's going to happen to you. I just mean people are not going to listen to Patrick Bet-David podcast anymore. Nick will be around forever. You'll be on the unemployment line because you're a liar and a shill for Israel.
Destroyer, not a builder. And Candace, to me, is doing something that Candace was very beloved by many people. This is the challenge with Candace. Everybody appreciated Candace. Everybody enjoyed Candace. I did my best not to attack Candace about disagreements, whether it's Israel, whether it's BLM, whether it's feminism. We invite the criticism, we invite debate. For me, the red line is you don't attack a grieving widow. And you don't accuse Turning Point of murdering their leader. To me, that's a non-starter.
Well, when you say that, Megyn Kelly came out and said that never happened. Okay.
Yeah. The narrative, the pro-Israel narrative that don't attack the grieving widow. Candace never said that Charlie was murdered by Turning Point or Erika. Candace never said that. You're making it up. And Adam won't even answer the question here, just like he always does.
At an event that she had, because Ben Shapiro came out and said that Ben accused her of accusing Candace of accusing Erika. I know this is like a lot of accusing.
A lot of them.
And then Megan came out and said, no, that never happened.
Well,
but then,
okay,
Well, it's true.
Right. What do you
Well,
mean by
okay.
attacked?
What am I going to come up with to try to put Israel first so I can, anybody that questioned Charlie's assassination, you're an anti-Semite or you're attacking a grieving widow. That's the best, argument that these idiots and the real racists that can come up with, because he hates America, Adam. So don't let him fool you. The only reason why he likes Trump right now is because Trump is doing every single thing that Israel wants. And if Trump wasn't, he would hate Trump. His Jewish friends told him, back off Trump. Trump's doing everything we want. Trust me. That's the reason why Adam is this big pro-Trumper now.
What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean by attacked? Like, which point? Like, when did she attack her?
What are you asking?
When you said Candace attacked Erika, what do you mean by that?
Have you not watched?
No,
any of
I have, but like,
Candace's clips?
I have,
Our
like,
friend Connor actually pulled
specifically.
me aside the other day, and he goes, I just want to say, you just do some research. 3 months ago, Candace was averaging 1 to 2 million views an episode.
Oh, he's gaslighting again. Oh, she's only doing it for... You didn't answer the question. You refuse to admit that you're wrong. Candace didn't do that. And then it goes to her viewers. Candace was already a top 10 podcast before Charlie Kirk's assassination, top 5. Then it goes to she's only doing this because she wants to make money. No, that's what you do, Adam. That's what you do. You'd be an absolute nobody without the PBD podcast. You're trying to make Candace sound like she's you or you're on her level. Give me a break.
Okay, follow the money, follow the views. Now she's averaging 4 to 5 million. Doing what? Attacking Turning Point. So don't play dumb with me that you don't know exactly what Candace is doing.
Don't play dumb with Adam. Like, dude, who do you think you're talking to half the time? See, this isn't a debate. It's always insults. When the truth is about to come out, well, Candace didn't do that. What's the big... We all know... Your boss just told you Candace didn't do that. Your boss just told you Megyn Kelly said that she didn't do that. And then he starts insulting people. See, it's not a debate where you're just insulting people. So I'll insult Adam. Adam, you're a piece of shit. That's what you are. And you got a big mouth, and you're disrespectful to everyone, and you think you could just run your mouth to everyone. Why you have so much job security is beyond me. It makes me question Patrick Bet-David night and day now. It's amazing how this clown still has a job.
And Candace doesn't need to come out and say, I think Erika Kirk killed her husband. But when you do every thumbnail with the faces of Turning Point,
He just keeps
you
making
make
it up.
assertions and you insinuate, hey, I don't know, but I know, but I know, but I know, but I know. What the hell do you know? To me, that's just a red line. God forbid anything happened to PBD. The last person I'm questioning is Jen or the people in this room or...
Oh my God, you're really trying to compare Charlie Kirk and his assassination to anything that might happen to Patrick Bet-David. It's just like he's such a fucking conniving, spineless, conniving, lying, manipulative piece of shit. I can't say it any other way. That's exactly what he is.
Tom, why would... To me, that's so disgusting to me.
Yeah.
That's it. Other than that, the beautiful thing about the...
You know what I find disgusting about you? How you try to make it seem like you care about America, and clearly for you, it's all about Israel, and that's why you get so upset by the things that are being said. And you're such a weasel, a worm, a conniver, a manipulator. I'd have more respect for you if you just came out and said, you know what? I'm Jewish, and I want Israel to control the world. We want to dominate the world. We want to be in total control of the world. And I'd just have more respect for you instead of being doing false flags and being a liar and a manipulator and everything that you are as a man, Adam, because you're not even this much of a man that Vinny is, Adam.
The conservative movement is debate.
Let's stay
Sure.
on this with Megyn Kelly.
Sure.
What do you think about what Megyn Kelly said, Brandon?
No, I think it's totally fair, and I think that Shapiro's being weird about this, and yeah, he's losing subscribers because like an 8 million subscriber channel is getting an average of less than 100,000 views per episode.
Can
It's
you
not
pull that up so
not
we
by
can see it?
accident, and I'm still unclear on what's the difference between asking questions and attacking. I think there's a big difference. I'm thankful that Candace is still actively asking questions because there's a ton of an endless supply of weird things that haven't been answered.
Fair enough. You should ask questions, but there's a difference between like Tucker, for instance.
Oh, now he's dictating the way you ask questions. Now Adam thinks that him and Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu should dictate the way Candace asks questions. Do you see the arrogance with this? We have given them everything, billions of dollars, weapons, you name it. You get to use our military to conquer the Middle East. Nothing is ever good enough. President Trump, if President Trump came through with what he promised his voters, he would have washed his hands of the Middle East, and he would be handing the baton off to the next Republican candidate and then his son. But he chose not to. And that's why the party's fractured. So when Patrick Bet-David gives his big speech about everybody coming together, tell it to your friend Trump.
Plays dumb. Is it better to be dumb or play dumb? I don't know. Let me just pretend I don't know what an ally or an enemy is. I don't know. What's an ally? I don't know. What does that even mean? And then says the next sentence, Qatar is a huge ally of ours, and I'm buying a house in Qatar because I'm an American. To me, that's playing dumb. When Candace insinuates, I don't know, but I know, but I know, but I know, you're playing dumb. So if I asked you a stupid line of questioning, so Brandon, like, how does it feel to be gay? And you're like, I'm not gay. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, Adam, since you're on the topic, how does it feel that you like underage girls? Because you seem to support the Tates a lot, and that's what they do. I mean, we know you're a pervert. You don't want the Epstein files to be solved. You don't want anybody mentioning Epstein because a bunch of underage girls were sex trafficked and human trafficked by the Israeli government, by Epstein. It was a Mossad operation. And you claim that anybody that's interested in getting to justice for those women, we're just all losers that drink Mountain Dew in our mom's basement. So I have a question for you. You must support that type of behavior. You must be into that type of behavior, Adam. I mean, it's the same thing that you're saying here to this young guy.
Because a lot of people are saying that you're gay. You're like, I definitely have a girlfriend.
But
it's like, I don't know, bro.
You're asking.
You seem gay.
Yeah, but
so then at some point you're going to be like, dude, shut up.
But there's reasons for her to ask the questions she's asking. She's not coming out of left field and asking a question
Let me ask you a very simple, direct question. So without the bullshit, do you think Erika Kirk?
You see how without the bullshit, the only bullshit is coming out of your mouth for your country that you care about, which isn't America. Like, who do you think you're talking to? Like, and Patrick Bet-David allows him to do this. Oh, and that's why I think that Patrick Bet-David gets a check, that somehow Sosnick brings him a check, because then they'll gaslight you and say, we're always open. This is not debating. This is not a debate. This is just constant insulting.
No.
And Patrick Bet-David knows that he's lying through his teeth. And he doesn't say, Adam, just enough already.
Happy with what Candace is doing, or very upset? Answer that.
No, I think she's upset with it.
Bingo.
And they had a long conversation the other day because of it.
And is Erika moving on from that and want to address that, or she's staying stuck in Candace mode?
I'm not going to pretend to know what's going on inside
let's use
head,
her words. You don't need to pretend. She said, I addressed.
Dude, he ever talked to me like that, I'd honestly, during the break, I'd clean the street with his face, literally, dude. So I don't know who this clown, thinks that he's talking to. He's just a clown. He's just so disrespectful all the time because people allow him to get away with it. And that's what it is. I'd slap him and he'd cower in the corner like the spineless weasel turd that he is.
We're moving on. And she put together an event. By the way, why isn't Candace in any of these events? Why doesn't she show up?
Because she's asking difficult questions about the people that are running.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't think they want her to show up.
So to me, that's a non-starter. Candace, quote unquote, friend of Charlie Kirk, friend of the organization.
Yeah, just like you're a friend and Israel is a friend to America and their greatest ally. You see the comparison I'm making here, Adam?
Now she's an enemy? She's going about this all the wrong way by just asking questions.
But what's the right way? By forgetting it? Because I'm thankful that she's kept the conversation alive, because if it wasn't for that, we move on from things so fast.
Who's moving on from this?
Everybody.
Investigation.
Everybody's moved on from the investigation. What are you talking about?
Nobody's moved on. So don't make dumb comments like everybody's moved on.
The only reason we're still talking about is because Candace is asking questions.
Candace is the only reason that people are focused still on Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
And it didn't have to do with the fact that they just had a massive organizational meeting?
Let me ask you a different question.
Everyone's focused on AMPF.
Let me ask you a different question when it comes down to this. Net positive for the Republican Party. Rank them today.
In what regard?
That's helping for midterms that's coming up next year and for 2028. Net positive.
Man.
Net positive.
That's tough. I'd say maybe JD Vance is a net positive. Maybe Marco Rubio net positive. But as far as people on social media go, Tucker's kind of split in the base. Ben Shapiro's split in the base. Megyn Kelly's not.
None of these people are splitting the base. President Trump has split the base. President Trump killed MAGA by putting Israel first. So just stop. Everybody needs to stop. You keep saying stop the bullshit. Yes, stop the bullshit. President Trump killed MAGA. And you're all going to have to accept that. Not Nick Fuentes, President Trump.
Not as much splitting the base. Candace is definitely splitting the base. So yeah, all the biggest public figures.
What is breakdown? What do you think the Republican Party right now needs? Vinny, I'll come to you.
No,
what do you think the Republican Party right now needs? With everything that's going on with Megyn Kelly, okay, the comments she made, so the Ben Shapiro comments, the Tucker comments. Then there's also a video of Candace calling out Ben Shapiro. If you want to play that clip as well, I'm sure you have that out there saying "F you, Ben Shapiro."
Right underneath the Megyn Kelly one that you have right there, right where you highlight underneath.
You know what they need?
Go ahead, play this clip.
With it. This one is so fully off of the mother effing plantation. Truly, Ben Shapiro, fuck you and the midget horse that you rode in on. And I say that on behalf of the world. I know you're going to get applauded by Konstantin Kisin and Andrew Christ is King Clavin and all of the people, the men who have to keep applauding what you do like you're a 4-year-old to make you feel good. But the rest of the world can't stand you. You're obnoxious. You have absolutely no values that exist outside of the Talmud. You describe yourself as a Talmudic Jew.
Right okay,
and I've learned.
What do you think? What do you think of what's going on?
With everything, well, it's obviously not helping the movement because at the end of the day, and we've had many conversations about this, the real enemy, okay, foreign and domestic, all that stuff. While all this is going on, what do you think the other side, the left, is doing? What do you think Gavin? Notice how Gavin during this, nice and quiet. You guys go ahead, eat each other alive, all of you. And who else, Adam, knows what's brewing? And I get it. And I already know some of the audience will be like, how? Oh, you guys are moving on. It's not about the midterms. No, listen. There's the guy that allegedly shot Charlie, God rest his soul, is in court. We're going to find stuff out, okay? Yes, I have questions. The George Zinn. Who the hell was that guy? Who was he working for? Don't even try to act like that guy wasn't involved with the situation. So there's a bunch of layers, and God willing, I have hope they're gonna figure it out and let people ask questions. Okay, what it's doing for us? Thank God, JD Vance, at least, bro, at least. 'Cause I know Nick and all these guys. Oh, Palantir, he puts like 9 different connections, his father's uncles. I don't give a damn. Thank God JD went out there and said, hey, guys, enough of this nonsense. Enough with transgenders. Enough with the fighting. It's America, okay? Stop. Focus. All this soap opera crap that's happening, focus on the thing at hand, Pat. And I hate.
I love how you're all avoiding the big elephant in the room. This is why the Patrick Bet David podcast is losing all credibility. Not only does President Trump put Israel first, which we all know, Benjamin Netanyahu brags all over Israel that he owns President Trump, but he won't release the Epstein files because it makes Israel look bad, because we all know Epstein worked for the Israeli government, and he's doing it at their request. And that's exactly why the entire Republican Party is up in flames. But we're going to keep talking in circles and pretend that it doesn't start with President Trump. Again, I'm a guy that voted for him 3 times, screaming, Trump will save us all from the rooftops. Trump has destroyed the entire party.
Hate this. Ben Shapiro, by the way, Ben Shapiro, when's the last time he even did anything with Turning Point? He's not involved with Turning Point. Him and Charlie, it's not like him and Charlie were boys. They didn't hang out all the time. And you know what it is, Pat? It's the common denominator. And why he's losing all these subscribers, I think the big common denominator, and what started with Candace, why did Candace get fired from Turning Point? I mean, I'm sorry, not Turning Point. Daily Wire. Her comments she made about genocide.
And Adam is texting Benjamin Netanyahu right now. What do you want me to say now? What do you want me to tell him? Yeah, don't worry. I got you.
All goes to Israel, and Ben, yes, he loves America, but he's hardcore Israel. And the common denominator with Tucker and Candace and Nick and Megyn Kelly, they criticized, obviously some more than other, Israel, and Ben is hardcore Israel. And shame on him. You open up Turning Point. You haven't been there in years, and you crap on everybody there. Enough of that, okay? America first. Talk about us.
Because that's the playbook. That's Ben Shapiro's playbook, and it doesn't work anymore. So he goes around, and anybody that doesn't put Israel first, and anybody that has something bad to say, what's going on in our country about AIPAC? Oh, you're a neo-Nazi, you're an anti-Semite. It doesn't work anymore. It's over. That's why he wanted to do that at Turning Point. Because he thought he was going to get up there, and the worst thing you could be called in America is an anti-Semite and a racist. So he thought he was going to get up there, and he was going to condemn everybody, and that everybody would take his side. It doesn't work anymore. It's over. The ship has sailed.
While the slithering snake, Gavin Newsom, is waiting. Pat, he's in the grass, drooling and waiting like the snake that he is for these opportunities. And it's going to be him, and I believe it's going to be J.D. Vance. Okay, enough already. Enough. And it's splintering them. Because who that's everybody's just eating each other alive, and the other side's like this. The Jasmine Crockett's, the AOCs, the Bernies, the Gavins, they're laughing their asses off. And if I hear another person go, all y'all care about is the midterms, let them flip the House, let them flip the Senate, and then when Gavin Newsom wins and they open the border, I don't want to hear none of you complain. I don't want to hear one mouth open, because that's what they're going to do.
Well, Vin, this is where I disagree with you. You need to be blaming President Trump, not the rest of us.
And we're going to get to Georgia. They openly cheated. That's the biggest story, and nobody's talking about it. You know what people are talking about? Candace said this about Ben and Megan. I don't even care. I don't care, because the first order of business is going to be open the border, transgender push, and all, and we're going to go back to 4 years ago. Okay? Enough. And I'm tired of it. And Ben should grow the hell up too. They're all at fault, but Ben's one of the main ones. He needs to shut up or represent the country.
And he didn't even support Trump at first. And Pat,
he hated Trump. He said it on camera.
You asked what the party needs. I think what they need is like a common enemy that we could all agree on. I mean,
oh, they all support Trump now because he does exactly what Benjamin Netanyahu says. Maybe before Trump's assassination, Trump was signaling to Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel that things are going to change. We're not going to do everything. And maybe that's why President Trump was almost assassinated. We'll never know. But is that a possibility? Of course it is.
I mean, like, think about when the year of the election, everybody who was even slightly conservative or even independent unified together and said the most important thing in the world is getting Trump elected. So, right now it's like, what's the most important thing in the world to the Republican base? And I don't think we have any idea.
It's the fight against Tucker, Nick,
but you have to realize, though, this is why it goes to me to basic thing.
No, it's not. Trump has the House and the Senate, and he hasn't passed one bill. He hasn't passed anything for voter integrity. He hasn't done anything about the 50 million illegals in the country that he promised. He hasn't passed the bills. Just because he pauses immigration from danger, it's called a pause. It's not a bill. There's a difference between laws and legislation than just executive orders that can be undone in 2 seconds by the next president. Trump has done nothing that he's promised. And that's why the Republican Party, again, is in the dumpster.
Like this. Everybody in the Republican Party needs to buy this book called Barbarians to Bureaucrats.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And let me explain to you why. It explains what every organization, society goes through if you're not too careful. Mark Twain once said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Which, if you go a little bit lower, go a little bit lower, go a little bit lower, keep going lower on the third page. Go to page 3. This page is the most important page of what's going on in America right now. Okay? It shows how everything gets started and how everything falls and disintegrates, okay? Number one, it's what? You have a prophet. Who is the prophet of Turning Point USA?
Charlie.
Okay,
yeah.
Charlie Kirk.
Bingo.
Who's the prophet of America? George Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Benjamin Rush, right? Benjamin Franklin, Jefferson, Adams, those guys. Then after the prophet, you have barbarians. Barbarians are the ones that are willing to go out there and do the work, the nasty work. The campus. I'm going to go to the campus and I'm going to do debates. Crowder's a prophet. And a barbarian. He went out there sitting out. Charlie's a prophet and a barbarian. He went out there sitting down talking. Then you bring builders and explorers. These are people that build companies. They build media companies. They build alliances. They build partnerships. They build things that create opportunity for others, which is what you need. And then that becomes reliance on principles and processes. Then shows up the administrator, the bureaucrat, and the aristocrat, and it's gone. And a bureaucrat, an aristocrat, is somebody that's been around the space for too long, that they automatically have trust because you've been watching them and listening to them for 20 plus years. And you think they're it. And you know what is the only way to save this fall from happening? A synergist showing up. You see that all the way in the top? That's a synergist?
Yeah.
Last night we're having dinner. We have family over, and we're having a conversation. Can you tell me, Charlie Kirk, did he ever call out Candace Owens?
Not by name,
No.
but he
He did. He
Did
did. He said, I don't agree with some of the things, but did he ever disrespect?
Nope.
No. Did he ever call out Tucker Carlson? Did he ever call out and disrespect any of these guys?
No.
Did he
No.
disagree with them?
Yeah.
Did he disagree with Ben Shapiro? Did he disagree with some of the things Israel was doing? Yes. But Tucker was a what? He was a synergist. Today,
Tucker? You mean Charlie?
I'm sorry, Charlie was a synergist.
Charlie was.
Oh,
yeah.
my
If you
God.
sit down today, now that Charlie, the synergist, is not here, everyone's lost control.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has lost control, right? Who's the synergist?
Keep blaming it on Charlie when it's President Trump. There would be some type of order if President Trump was following through on his promises to his campaign. So again, we're going to just keep deflecting from the real issue.
Synergist today of the Republican Party? Is it Vivek?
I would say that
No.
Trump,
Is it JD?
Trump acted as that for a period of time.
Trump acted as that for a period of time, but you can't keep relying on that
Right.
guy. It's a second term, pretty much his third term. He's going to be done.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who is that today?
There really isn't one.
The name, is it Megan Kelly? Megan tried to be.
No,
She's not it.
No, there is.
Is
no,
it Ben Shapiro? Definitely not Ben Shapiro. Ben is not a synergist.
There's no synergy.
Is it? Is it? It's definitely not Candace. She's not trying to synergize, right? Tucker's not trying to synergize. Who's the synergist?
To be determined.
To be
PBD.
determined.
Yeah.
That's not right now. Is not the good time to have a
Well,
TBD.
Let me. Pat's absolutely right. I wrote down the word synergist here. We talk about this all the time.
Ooh.
In Charlie's death,
wrote it
we
down.
realized how important and what a mighty figure he was in the conservative movement and to America. At the time, we didn't fully realize how important he was. You've been
No, he was only important to Adam and Adam's big Jewish donor friends when Charlie was doing exactly what Israel wanted. And the minute he stopped doing that, and the minute he changed his tune about October 7th and a lot of things on Israel, guess what? He's no longer here. But hey, let's not talk about that, Adam, right?
been very complimentary of him. You said he's one of
Since
one.
17.
Yeah, you've been very.
Yeah.
I've said out loud and proud that's the guy. But after his death, we realized, wow, he really was the guy. By the way,
And that's why they
this
killed him,
is
right?
everyone here is at his event that he created, Turning Point.
I love
So let's not dismiss this. So these splinter movements are starting. Nick's trying to be the Groyper guy, and Candace is doing her Scooby-Doo investigation thing, and Tucker's moving to Qatar apparently. But Charlie was the guy. So by de facto, that's why I'm so all in on Erika. And I get it. People are critical of her.
He's so all in on Erika. I wonder why that is, Adam. Because she wants to take Turning Point USA, and Benjamin Netanyahu just summoned 1,000 Christian pastors to Israel so they can push the Judeo-Christian relationship that everybody should put Israel first and America second. That's why you're fully behind Erika Kirk. And that's the only reason. Let's listen to Sosnick keep up with his garbage.
She wears too much makeup. She wears too many rings, blah, blah, blah. To me, it's pretty simple. She was his wife. She's a grieving widow. She's trying to continue Charlie's legacy and continue Turning Point USA, and people want to attack her for it. And by my estimation, she has the wherewithal to deal with it. So the conservative movement is missing a synergist. Last point is this.
They're trying to take Turning Point USA and turn it more into this Christian spiritual revival. In the beginning, it was mostly about politics. And now they're trying to take it into a radical turn. And you know why Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel and Adam Sosnick want to take it into this radical organization of Christianity? Because, like I said before, Benjamin Netanyahu summoned all these Christian pastors to Israel, probably gave them thousands upon thousands of dollars to push the Christian Judeo relationship that puts Israel first. That's why they're trying to take Turning Point in a new direction. So open your eyes. Watch some of Charlie's. Yes, God would come up during Charlie Kirk's original Turning Point debates that he had, but not like the radical direction that it's going in now. And they're doing that because Adam Sosnick and Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel is doing that because they know that Israel is losing support from American citizens.
Testament to the fact that we're only talking about people on YouTube. We're not talking about Anderson Cooper We're not talking about Jake Tapper. We're not talking about Brett Baer or Sean Hannity. The legacy media is plummeting before our eyes, and the new leaders, the new voices are right here on YouTube. Obviously, we know what a massive voice and massive figure PBD is, but the new leaders are going to come from your YouTube account.
He always has to glaze PBD after he lies through his teeth about everything and just manipulative because I got to save my job. So let me throw out a compliment here or there, even though I have no respect at all for my boss by lying all the time and bringing the show's. If you really respected Patrick Bet-David like you claim, you wouldn't be bringing the show's credibility into the garbage can. So that makes me think since Patrick Bet-David allows it, it must be benefiting him. Because I would never allow it.
Not from your cable account. And that's so important. So it's important to remember what Charlie stood for.
I will say something. I don't know if I'm there yet with Erika either. I don't know. I don't know anything. Prior to Charlie Kirk dying, I know nothing about Erika Kirk. I've just met her a few times. Hi. That's it. I've never had a conversation with her. She's always been sweet, but we've never had a conversation together. So I'm not overnight going to say she's the qualified one to come and do it because you're the wife. It's not how this works, okay? This is a very competitive.
Patrick, just knock it off. We all know why Adam is saying that, Patrick. I mean, be serious. Come on, Patrick, you can do it.
Environment of somebody that needs to come in. And the way to score who it is, a part of this happened in our insurance company. And I remember in our insurance company, we had a guy that hated the new policies I came up with the company that exposed people that weren't working. And it drove everybody to perform month in, month out. And I had this one guy that behind closed doors, every month he was waiting for the numbers to work against us so he could come out and says, I told you guys Pat's ideas are bad. I told you Pat's new comp plan is bad. He wanted to do, and I knew it because behind closed doors, he was already marketing it and it was doing his thing. And I knew there was no way in the world I was going to let the company grow less than 50% every single year for many years just so that person would lose credit, it wouldn't gain credibility on saying what they're saying. And obviously, eventually, that person was irrelevant. We grew, we sold, and the rest is history. However, things like this happen in organizations. But let me tell you what's one thing they're not too careful of. Here's what you have to realize. This is very close to the hip-hop war, East Coast, West Coast war that happened in the 90s. Do you know what happened at first when everybody was saying, you know, that's why you big fat motherfucker, you know, okay, West Side, you know, he called out everybody, okay? Everybody he called out in that one song, right? Everybody. He called literally everybody out and hit him up.
Tupac
did. Yeah. What happened to Tupac? He got killed. But even after he got killed, what happened? Nothing. It wasn't that bad. It was just like, oh, man, I can't believe we lost Tupac. You know when things got real, when Snoop and Diddy got up and said, hey, man, let's pump the brakes. You know what happened? When the second person got killed.
Biggie died.
Once the second person got killed, then everybody said, shit, you know, I have to be careful as well. And then that's kind of like Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson coming up and sitting and saying, guys, we got to kind of get our act together. Yes. Can you imagine what happens if that takes place? Yeah. Those two, by the way, Ben Shapiro.
Again, we're pushing it off to the, you know, the sergeants or the assistant general when you should be saying this to President Trump. But hey, it starts at the top, Patrick Bet-David, and you should know that of all people.
Respectfully, I said, I've offered to debate Tucker many times. He's turned it down.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, for the people that hate Ben Shapiro, and nobody in the marketplace would say me and Ben are best friends. Do you know how many times me and Ben have texted each other? I want you to actually guess. How many times do you think Ben and I have texted each other? 3? What do you think the number is?
Less than 10, maybe 7.
What did you say?
You guys text.
Bingo. Yeah, there is no relationship. There is no relationship. So nobody can come and say, well, you know, you guys are probably this. I've never been to any of these, like the party you went to the White House. Why would I go to that? It's a Jewish party. I'm not part of that sect. We don't do anything with that. We don't take any, you know, investors. We have nothing that we're taking right now. I can't believe you're selling shoes. You know why we'll create our own businesses? So we don't have to take money from anybody. I can't believe you're selling cats. All he cares about is selling cats. Which would you rather have? Us selling our own merch that we're doing or us taking money from Qatar and in other places? Go ahead. Yeah. Make up your mind. Which one do you want? So stop bitching and whining about some of the guys that are building a company. They're building businesses. I respect anybody That's building. Building is hard. Tearing down is easy. What is hard?
Well, how come you're not mad at President Trump? He's the one tearing apart the country. Not with his rhetoric, with his policy. What country is President Trump putting first? Israel. And that's why. Are you mad at him, Patrick Bet-David? No, it's just everybody around him or underneath him. Yeah, makes sense.
Hard about tearing down. You know how easy it is to tear people down? Anybody can do it. We were sitting on the other day, Andrew Wilson was here. Interesting guy, really like how feisty he is, and I want to learn more about his story, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy had a tough life. And I finally learned about his story. He said something in the conversation about tearing people. Oh, Steven Crowder's name came up. And I told him, I said, you know, Steven Crowder, after the whole thing happened with the video of him and his wife, he called me one day. And for 45 minutes, he's explaining to me on what's going on. And I said, Steven, I don't care. He says, what do you mean? I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not in the business of tearing down your personal life. It's not my business. If our biggest enemy today went through it, I'm not in that business. Okay, so but it's such an easy business model. So let me ask you a question. Which title will get you to watch this more? You know, where we come out and we expose everything about somebody's personal life, or we're going to talk about current events on what's going on, give us your opinion on what's going on. What do you think you're going to watch more? And who's the audience? What do you think?
The drama queen.
The tearing down or the building? Which you think is harder?
The tearing down.
You know how hard it is to build a damn business? A guy sends me a message today on Connect. This is the third insurance company. I'm sorry, not even the third. The fifth insurance company he's been a part of. And guess what? He's telling me 2 of my guys are leaving. They're taking my guys away from me. They're going to go to this place. What do you think I should do? I said, bro, how do you think it is to build a company with 60,000 agents nationwide? You need diplomacy. You need to build knowing 80% of people want to tear down what you built. And
here we go. So what is President Trump building? There's one particular country that he's building up, and it's not America. And the country that President Trump is supposed to be building up is falling apart at the seams with debt. We're trillions of dollars in debt, yet we hand billions of dollars to Israel. We finally have a secure border while we've been building Israel's border for years. So as our country implodes, President Trump builds another country, but Patrick Bet-David here doesn't want to talk about that. And we're going to blame everybody else but President Trump.
Guess what? What the Republican Party did in 2024 is known as the greatest comeback in politics, maybe ever. Maybe ever. And by the way, Republicans and conservatives, just so you know, if this guy doesn't win November 4th or 5th, whatever the day was, that would have been Obama's best day of his life. You know why? Because for the rest of his life, he would have said, America never wanted MAGA. They never wanted Trump. He was a one-term that got lucky and lost twice to both Biden and to Kamala, or whoever this person would have been. Instead, the president fought, and you know who else was behind it? A lot of people on the conservative side came together and you made it happen. And you're worried about tearing each other down? I'm so glad I'm not an insider. I'm so glad I'm on the outside. You know how many people text me message saying, how come you're not coming to Turning Point USA Amphis? I said, well, Charlie and I were going to schedule, but nobody followed up with me. How come you're not at Turning Point USA? I'm not an insider. We're outsiders, and we love it. And we still have relationships. And by the way, we respect all these guys. This is not an easy business. It's not easy. Any of these guys. Respect, it's hard.
See, that's where I disagree with you, because it is easy. Because if President Trump, you know, Mr. Big Balls, I'm a tough guy, and, you know, he's got one-liners for this one, and he's calling this reporter a pig, and he's this and that. As soon as he gets elected, he tells Benjamin Netanyahu, it's over. You're on your own. I got to put my people first. We're $1 billion in debt, $1 trillion in debt. We got to secure our border. My people are suffering here. The prices are through the roof. I need to take these billions of dollars and pump it into all the states in America. I need to bring back the manufacturing jobs. I need to drill on our own soil for oil. But President Trump chose not to do that. President Trump chose to be in the pockets of Israel, and now our country continues to suffer. So it is easy, Patrick Bet-David, when you have a real leader that's supposed to do what he says and tell Benjamin Netanyahu to get effing lost. but Trump chose not to. Think about this logically. Miriam Adelson gave Trump $250 million for his campaign. Trump is a billionaire. He has billions of dollars. And Israel bought him for $250 million. He didn't even need their money. He took the money, and now they own him. He could have ran on his own money. And they're all laughing. You know why? Because for that $250 million, they get billions for, 60 to 100 to 200 years at a time, plus our military. So they put a little money out, and they get the world in return, and nothing is ever good enough.
Hard being Tucker. It's a hard business. It's hard being Ben. It's hard building a company. It's hard having families. Every one of these guys, at some point, they contributed positively. Candace did, positively. Prager, massive. To many of us, from many years ago, people are not even talking about Prager. Prager was the OG of OGs. Prager, Dennis Prager. I hope he's doing good. He and his wife, I hope they're doing good. Sue everybody, I hope they're doing good. All these guys played a role. Beck played a role. O'Reilly played a role. Everybody played a role. What the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah, they played the Israel first role, and now it's over. And we all know it's over.
Right now. Who the hell is the shot caller to say, call a damn meeting, get your act together? You know how many times I have to have meetings like that? One time we had two guys in our company hated each other, but they both respected me. We were in Aspen, believe it or not. They'll remember this because they were not happy. I called breakfast, didn't tell either one of them who I'm having breakfast with. They both show up to breakfast. I said, all right, you know why you're here? Why? You're not here because of me. You guys got to talk. Both were pissed. Talk. Nobody ever knew this meeting happened. And they talked to each other. Who is that shot caller? Call the damn shot. Call it. I'm not the shot caller. Call the flipping shot.
I couldn't disagree with him more. President Trump is the shot caller. And he chose not to do what he's elected to do. And the ship is only going to sink even worse because nothing is changing anytime soon with Trump. If anything, it's just going to get worse. So blame Trump.
What are you doing? You've had so much momentum. Good momentum.
Yeah. And it's over now.
Call the damn shot. I don't know who the shot caller is. If I was the effing shot caller, the meeting would have been done a week after what happened to Charlie. And I'm going to say, what the hell are we doing? Look what we built. Reminder, we build this together. All of you, every one of them on stage build it together. Every one of them played a positive role. All of them. Whether you hate Candace or Tucker or Ben or Megan, I don't care. Whether you love Candace, you love Tucker, you love Megan. These were the front runners of bringing the social media people together to win 2024. Don't forget. And they did in 16. Maybe not Ben, because Ben has always not been Trump. He's been DeSantis. He's been on the outside. That's probably one of the reasons why some of the camp and us don't get along.
Oh, is that what it
DeSantis
is?
For 2020.
Is that what it is, PBD? Is that you really? Come on, PBD. That's not why they don't get along. We all know that Ben Shapiro doesn't give one single shit about America. Matter of fact, the Talmud said that Jesus is actually burning in shit right now. And to steal from white people and to steal from anybody that's non-Jewish. And Ben Shapiro is clearly a Zionist. So that's the real issue. But hey, those are real touchy subjects right there.
2024. I wasn't. I'm like, no, I don't think you're the guy. I support you, but not as a president. You should have gone met with the shot caller.
That's the guy.
Call the damn shot. Have the meeting already. I think there's only two people that can call that meeting to make it happen. And by the way, doesn't need to be on camera. Turn the damn camera off. I get people that call me.
Candace and Tucker are not going to go to the meeting if the shot caller Trump calls them in. You know why? Because they have no respect anymore for President Trump, just like the rest of us, because we all see who Trump is putting first. And that's why they're not going to show up to the meeting. Trump is never going to change who comes first. And we all know Israel comes first. And at the Hanukkah dinner the other day, it just proved it even more. So that meeting that you want to happen so bad, it's never going to happen. Because the people underneath, we don't respect him anymore. It's over.
Sometimes, and they tell me, you won't believe what happened. And I say, what do you want me to do with this information? Because I'm definitely not going to talk about it on the podcast. If you're calling me because you want me to say this to the world, I'm not the guy. You call the wrong guy. This is the wrong guy that's trying to get clicks for this. Call somebody else. I'm not that guy. When we do this, you know what our research is? We read this. We give our commentary because we trust the way we process issues, not because we have insiders calling us about everything that's going on. No. How do you process issues? You know the show, The First Take? What's your take? This is my take. We have a Fox comes up, say, sit down with us. They say, well, you know, what do we like about your show? What's that? It seems like you're processing the issues while you're doing a podcast, and you guys are just kind of doing ChatGPT information, and then in that moment, you kind of share what you're thinking. That's what makes it authentic.
I can't anymore because Fox News is fake news, just like CNN. Patrick Bet David. It's like you're like, oh, you're obsessed with Israel. We all know that Fox News, you're not allowed to criticize Israel at all. We all know that. So it's fake news. You're not allowed to tell the truth about the policy on Fox News. So it's pro-Israel, pro-Trump right now. That's why you claim that your show seems more truthful, which even at this point, it's not because of Adam Sosnick and certain guests that you bring on that don't push back. So, and you only have yourself to, just like Trump has nobody to blame. When your show starts to lose all credibility, that's on you because you let Sosnick do his thing for years without once telling him enough already.
Fed by somebody saying, say this, say this, say that. No, I'm not that guy. Call somebody else and tell them what to say. But come on, shot caller. I don't put this on anybody but the shot caller right now. And Erika's not a shot caller. She's not. You don't just become a shot caller because you married a shot caller. Kirk is gone. Who's the current shot caller? If it's not him, is it above pay grade? Call the damn meeting.
Right.
Call the meeting. Holy shit. Is this what Turning Point USA is going to be? Is it going to be like, what is that award that Diddy and Snoop got up and you want to lead? If you were part of a crew.
Yeah.
Okay, can we stop using those idiots as examples? Please stop. All right. Rap battles. Come on, Patrick Bet David, please.
The executive producer needs to be in your video.
All up in the video.
Come to death row. Yeah. I don't need to be in all up in the video. What was that?
Source Awards, yeah.
Is Turning Point USA not a Source Award?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
No, it can't be.
Daily Wire.
And by the way, let me see the other side. I don't mind the debate. Actually, don't mind the debate. I don't mind the Israel, not Israel debate. That's fine. I don't mind that debate. That's healthy. Like when they're like, there's a reason why the younger audience is questioning Israel. Maybe listen to the younger audience. See what they're saying. Listen to them. Stop thinking they're young and dumb. Let's see what they got to say. Maybe there's an argument there. Maybe the fact that 260 journalists disappeared, maybe we need to talk about that. Maybe the fact that Israel doesn't allow journalists to go out and report what's going on, we need to talk about that. That's okay. That's a topic we're debating. It's a topic we're debating. But this tearing down.
Ooh, Patrick Bet David's in trouble now.
Bullshit stuff's got to stop, guys. You know, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to make money off of this. I'm genuinely doing this because I love America and I got 4 kids. And I want to make sure these guys in 20, 30 years when they want to run, we don't get so flippant, distracted, and divided that AOC and a Newsom that's right on one of the polls is showing ahead of J.D. Vance. AOC and Newsom go on a ticket together, and all of a sudden we have President. What do you think happens to America with everything you build? You don't think one by one the executive order tear all of it down? Or would you like to see a J.D. be a 2-term guy next?
Well, you know what's funny, Patrick Bet David? Like I was saying, President Trump has the House and the Senate, and he could pass bills, and he's choosing not to, so that's his fault. Then you say that in one breath, but in the same breath, Adam Sosnick's sitting next to you and lying through his teeth for Israel to put Israel first. So you need to make up your mind whose side you're on, because you seem like you're not clear that you're America first by the things that come out of your mouth. It's easy to say I'm America first, and then you look at your actions, what's going around, and it doesn't seem that way.
Or a DeSantis or a Rubio. I like Rubio as well. What do you want to see? Shot caller. Call the shot. You know who you are. Oh my God, I really didn't want to say this right before Christmas. Call the effing shot. Call the meeting. You know who you are. I hope this makes it to him. Sit everybody down, hash it out, and get it solved.
You know why it won't work, PBD? You know why? The ship has sailed. Any respect? We handed Trump the presidency. We handed him the Senate, the House. We handed it to him on a silver platter. And who did he put first? It's over. Bad news for you.
Because this next phase, It's no longer like you said. It's not about Fox and Newsmax and OAN. Is it OAN, AON?
Yeah,
I don't
whatever.
know. It's not. It's YouTube, Twitter, X, all these guys.
Exactly.
Have the meeting. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm not an insider. Have the damn meeting. If you want me to contribute in any way as a moderator, just to be a processor, I will contribute. I'm not saying I'm not willing to contribute, but my number one priority is the greatest country in the world. That's what I care about.
Really?
Period. And
the other day on one of your shows last week, you said, well, the stats don't lie, so maybe we should go live under Sharia law. But you're all about America? That came out of your mouth. I can play you the clip. If you want to live under Sharia, if anybody wants to live under Sharia, not just PBD, do me a favor, get on a plane and go back to where you came from, and you can live under Sharia, because we're not living under that garbage here, ever. And I won't be governed by it either. So
start scoring people on golf score. When I'm recognizing somebody on talent, what do we score them on? Humor, trust, telling the truth, asking good questions, but being builders.
Really? All those things, Patrick Bet-David? And you hired Sosnick? Wow, I guess you really struck out there. That's why I think you take checks, because I don't know how any of those things that you add up for talent equals Adam Sosnick. Wow, you're on a roll today, Betty.
Not tearing down. By the way, if you're not too careful, like I remember one time, I don't know what happened to me. I went through a 6-month period where I was like, I had like the negative vibes. Like 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I'm like,
see, this is always the cop out, in America in 2025. It's all about good vibes, right? You see it on people's bumper stickers. Good vibes only, dude. Well, that's not how life works. That's not how life is. The truth is very harsh. The truth is very brutal. And the truth needs to be told at all costs. And a lot of times the truth is not a good vibe, man. Because, like I said, it's harsh sometimes. And that's the reality of acting in truth. That's why nothing is more hated right now than the truth. That's why nobody is more hated right now than a person that tells the truth. So this example that you're going to give about vibes, right? That's like a car that looks great on the outside, like a Ferrari, but has a Jetta engine. That's what that is. It's the same equivalent. That's not how it works. But go ahead.
What the fuck? This is not you. What are you doing? You're not this guy. You're not a guy like this. Snap out of it. And I'm like, I'm studying myself. What are you doing?
And just because you tell the truth doesn't mean you're negative. It just means that you refuse to live in a delusional fantasy land like everybody else. Because at the end of the day, we all have, people have material items that make them happy. Some people have a vacation home. Some people have a car. Some people have a wife whatever they have. And then there's others like myself. At the end of the day, what I value the most is the truth. And if that makes people hate me or despise me, or I get called all kinds of names, or, I have all types of issues from telling the truth, I'm going to stick to that because I have to look myself in the mirror. All that other garbage means absolutely nothing to me.
You ain't been like this since you were freaking a little kid when your parents got a divorce. This is not your profile. You lift people up. You're a builder. And I have to almost get rid of this bullshit. What do you call it? This,
the persona?
Not even persona. The energy. It's like, dude, what this is not the language you speak.
He's talking about energy as Sosnick sits next to him and insults Vinny left and right because Vinny tells the truth and he's not a shill for Israel and he doesn't drop the Epstein thing. He's talking about energy and all this good vibes, but Sosnick's sitting to his, what, is that his right? Yeah, to PBD's right. So I kind of find this laughable.
Negative energy.
No. I'm like, out. Get out. Don't even come near me. I don't even want you near me, the negative energy. So it happened.
Great news. Are you firing Adam anytime soon? The show will be wonderful.
To us at times. It happens to people you admire sometimes. But whatever the hell is going on right now with this weekend, I don't know, man. I have so much respect for Charlie. To me, that guy to me I have a lot of respect for that guy. And what he built, I hope it doesn't turn into the Source Awards. I hope it doesn't. I hope it turns into debate. Like when he brought Dave Smith, he debated. Who did Dave Smith debate
Josh
last
Hammer.
year? I think that's great.
Yeah.
Then that kind of stuff, great. But if it gets into this kind of stuff, and you know who Ben remind again? I said this the other day. I don't know. I'm going to get to the next story. I don't want to stay on this story for too long, but I want to get to the next story. Man, Ben, forget it. I'm not even going to get into that. But it's they got to rise above right now, and
I wonder why you don't want to talk about Ben too much, huh, PBD?
There is the business model of what pays. There is. If I say like MGK did a song on Eminem, The Devil, and then he puts this logo, whatever. You ever heard that song? It was like blew up, and it kind of put him on the map.
Yeah.
And then Eminem responded, and then boom, 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 boom. Because he said something about is that the one that's the one? Zoom in how many views it got? Don't play it. Just zoom in on the views. 395 million views. That's MGK getting the rap devil, right? He's calling out Eminem. And it was like, damn, this guy's got the brass to do that. Yeah. But that's hip hop. That's hip hop. That's okay in hip hop. It's art. It's tearing down. It's not building up. It's tearing down. So anyways, to me, I hope the shot caller calls the shots and we move on. And I think there's only two people that can call the shot. Nobody else. That's all I think. Go ahead.
I fully endorse everything you just said. I don't know if you feel comfortable saying who those two people are.
I'm
okay,
not.
Cool.
No.
I respect that. But again, we're feeling the
Trump or Vance, but nobody respects them anymore, so it's pointless anyway.
reverberations of the synergist, of the leader of the movement, not being here. And this is the course that the movement has to go through to rectify with who's the next guy up. And it might be you, PBD, even though you don't want to be it. Because I don't see any of these people stepping up. Tucker ain't the guy. Candace ain't the gal. Ben ain't the guy.
How come Tucker's not the guy? How come, Adam? Why are you saying that? Oh, I wonder why. Gee, I don't think I can figure that one out. 2 + 2.
Megyn Kelly, massive respect. She ain't it. Who is it? Trump? In my opinion, it's not even J.D. Vance. But someone needs to step up.
But let me tell you, again, I gave my thoughts because you can't, you interview Michael. Michael, do you think you're the greatest player of all time? What does LeBron say? After what I did that day when we came back 73-9, I told myself, you're the greatest. You're the GOAT. Shut the greatest flopper of all time. You're the GOAT. You ever seen the way Michael was getting fouled? You get tapped in the eye. You're rolling 50 different times into the audience eating popcorn. I became the GOAT that day. Furthest from the GOAT is who you are.
That's funny.
Michael's the GOAT. They asked Michael, who do you think? He says, I think that's an unfair question to ask. Why? I never played against Wilt. I never played against Russell. I never played against
Kareem.
I never played against these guys at their peak. No. You have to respect who came before you because say, hey, we'd like to retire your number that nobody can ever wear it again, number 23. I don't think that's right because NBA is bigger than one player. Wow. Are you freaking kidding me? This is the greatest player of all time saying he doesn't want his jersey to be retired and LeBron wears 23 and Kobe wears 24 to say I'm one better than Michael 24. That's how it works. So we got to respect everybody that's done what they've done previous to whatever the hell is going on today. I respect every one of these guys, even though I may disagree on some of the topics. But I'd like the shot caller to make the call. So anyways, we'll see what happens next few months.
Well, then I'm going to end it with that. Patrick Bet-David obviously doesn't want to address the big elephant in the room. You know, he claims he cares about America, but then he has Adam Sosnick talking a majority of his show, who's obviously Israel first. So Patrick Bet-David needs to make up his mind what direction he wants his show to go in and which country he's putting first, because obviously with somebody like Adam Sosnick and Ben Shapiro, America is not coming first. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasairos.